Hello everyone, this is Drums, Girls in a Dangerous Pie, chapter number 16, written by Jordan Sonnenblick, read by Book a Week. We read books. You should probably subscribe if you like reading books. The quadruple uh-oh. A couple of days later, at all-city rehearsal, Mr. Watrous was making a startling announcement to the group. The school district had just put a new policy in place. Evidently, every high school student would have to perform community service hours every semester in order to graduate, effective immediately. Everybody around me started mumbling and grumbling right away, but I didn't see what the big deal was. I asked Brian, "Well, Pez, here's the problem. A lot of us are already busy every day after school and Saturdays with this. Our regular school bands, sports, jobs, relationships, and just generally have to have a life and get decent grades. So some of us might have to drop out of All City in order to do service hours. That's the big deal." Oh, about an hour into the rehearsal, I noticed that Annette and Renee were in their usual spots, watching the proceedings, but they weren't just watching, they were whispering back and forth at top speed. Now, I don't know much about the inner workings of girl folk, but I did realize that anything that could bring those two together had to be some pretty powerful voodoo to it. But by the time we were done playing, Annette and Renee were writing frantically, and not just notes. They were writing paragraphs, lists, charts, and graphs. Annette had a calculator. Renee was wielding, I swear to God, a compass. Renee was wielding, I swear to God, a compass. It was like they were planning a space mission or something. The band stopped and Annette strode over to the podium. She grabbed Mr. Watrous' conducting baton and tapped it on the music stand just like he always does. Everyone looked over and Annette started talking. "How many of you are going to have trouble meeting the service requirement and staying in All City? Come on, raise your hands." About 3/4 of the band did. "Wouldn't it be great if you could somehow get service credit for being in All City?" People were now looking interested now, because I think that Renee over there, Renee waved, "I think that Renee over there and I have a little way. Listen, guys, I'm sure you all know about our families in this town who have dire financial situations. Families that are trying their hardest but just can't seem to make ends meet. Families that could use a helping hand, am I right?" Well, sure, she was right, but on the other hand, she was also starting to sound like the street corner preacher. I myself felt vaguely like jumping up and shouting amen, but I figured it might be wise to find out what I would be amening about first. "Gentlemen of the All City Band, we have an opportunity here to reach out that helping hand to one of our own. I know you are all aware of the serious health problems that Stephen Alper's brother has had this year. Oh God. But what you probably don't know is that little Jeffrey's disease, leukemia, is tremendously expensive. The Alper family is struggling to pay their bills. Stephen's mother has had to take a leave of absence from work to take care of Jeffrey, so just when their need is greatest, half of their cash flow is gone." Annette stopped for a moment, and Biff spoke into the silence. "Yeah, we all know about the peasant's brother. What does that have to do with getting the band out of the servant's requirement?" "It doesn't have to do with getting you out of the requirement. It has to do with getting the requirement into the band." "Huh? We can make our concert a benefit for Stephen's family. Renee, can you tell these guys about the numbers?" "Hi guys, we did some math here, and this could really work. If we charge $15 a ticket, and there are thousands seats in the auditorium, that's 15,000 right there. Then we have a bake sale set up in the lobby. Brian, don't your parents own a bakery?" Yeah. "Maybe they could donate the stuff or sell it to us as a cost. Anyway, I bet we could sell 500 pastries or whatever at $1 each. That brings us to 15.5. Then there's the program. We could probably get a printer to donate or work at cost too. Then we sell ad space. Then we sell ad space. What's the going rate for yearbook pages? $3.50 a page. If we got 15 full pages of ads, that would be Where is it? Oh yeah, that would be another $5,250 for a total of $20,750. What do you think, guys? Yeah, woohoo, save the peasant family. Personally, I thought my parents were either going to kiss the ground or wring my neck, and I had no idea which. Before everybody left, Annette and Renee got Mr. Waters to agree to the plan, formed committees, designed some flyers, and ad sale forms, and even sold one ad. The second trombonist said his parents would buy half a page of their jewelry store. Truly astounding. Truly astounding. It was like seeing Bill Gates at age 13 times 2, and half of him was wearing a cheerleader uniform. Yeah, I know that's a weird image. On the way home, I thanked Annette for the idea. She was flying high. I think because now she was a really big part of the concert again. I wasn't sure how I felt. On the one hand, I knew the money would be a big plus for my family, and would be great for Jeffrey to have his big special night. On the other hand, I was concerned that my parents might go nuts and trash the whole idea. Plus, and I know this is shallow. I wanted the concert to be my big night. One thing was for sure. One way or another, if my parents didn't veto the entire shebang, it was going to be important. As I got out of the van, the driver said, "Listen, kid, I couldn't help hearing about your brother. That's a tough break. I'm really sorry." Now, here was a lady who had driven the two of us to and from rehearsal twice a week for over a year, and this was the first time she had ever talked at all. It was a relief to know she had the power of speech, but I was struck again by the power of cancer to get attention. I was struck again by the power of cancer to get attention. For better or for worse, being involved with cancer puts you on everybody's radar screen. Now I had the challenge of floating this proposal to the parents, and I had to do it right away because my mom and Jeffrey were leaving for Philly in the morning. At dinner, even while I was joking around with Jeffrey, fielding questions from my mom about schoolwork and wondering how my dad could have such a blank facial expression without actually being in a coma, I was nervously waiting for the opportunity to bring the whole thing up. Finally, I seized the day. My dad mentioned that he had gotten somebody a $7,000 tax return, and I pounced. "Wow, Dad, $7,000 sounds like a lot of money, huh?" "Why, yes, it is. Why, yes, Stephen, it is. I know a family that could get nearly 3 times that by April 15th. "Who?" "Us." "Well, son, our return won't be that big this year. We're going to get some money back because your mother stopped working, and I hadn't claimed a single earner head of household exemption. Also, the interest on our stock dividends will be less than we projected. It's rather interesting. I had based our estimated taxes on a historical rate of return of approximately 10% annual yield. However, the stock market slowed down. We actually had a negative rate of..." Dad, stop with the accounting talk for a minute. You're talking to a 13-year-old who got a 37 on his math final, remember? Anyway, that's not what I meant. I'm talking about an idea that some people had. See, the all-city band needed a human service project, and a couple of students came up with an amazing plan for one. Since we have this performance coming up, they thought, why not make it a benefit concert? A benefit concert? For whom? Well, us. Jeffrey, please go into the family room and play. Uh-oh. But Daddy, I'm still eating my burrito. You get plenty of food. Go. Double uh-oh. I had found a topic that put an expression on my father's face. It might have been nice if the expression weren't the teeth-gritted grimace of a sumo wrestler about to charge. But hey, progress is progress, I suppose. We argued back and forth about this for a while. Initially, Mom was on Dad's side, but as the discussion wore on, my mom got quieter and quieter. Eventually, before my father and I degenerated to the "oh yeah" level, she stopped us. "I think I'm going to be ill." "What do you mean ill, honey? Stephen and I didn't mean to upset you. We were just having a discussion." "No, I mean ill. As in, get me a bucket." Triple uh-oh. Steven, don't just sit there. Get her what? What can he get you? Oh, man. With that, she stumbled out of the dining room. When she turned on the super loud bathroom fan, we knew exactly what was going on. And that left a fairly urgent problem. Jeffrey figured it out the fastest. He appeared in the doorway. Daddy, Stephen, Stephen, if Mommy is sick, who's going to take me to the hospital tomorrow? Quadruple uh-oh. Who was going to take him? Okay, guys, so that is it for chapter 16. Quadruple uh-oh. I'll be back in a little while for chapter number 17, A Men's Journey. Bye.